Okay, one more time. This is Ben from patternprofits.net. I'm going to share with you a few trade ideas from the Power and Velocity scan. Again, this is not the CanSlim quality stuff that we shared on the focus list. These are trade ideas usually for me 1 to 3 days. I'm in, I'm out, and then on to the next, looking to compound those gains. We're looking at ARYA SPAC here, had a huge day early last week on Monday, pulled back, easing volume, found support an inside day on Friday at the VWAP from the monster breakout day. You have the volume shelf just above, so what we would be looking for here is the inside day to come out. That's 1988 here. So above 1988, the inside day comes out. We'd break the declining trend line here, get back above the volume shelf, and we'd be looking for the next leg up. ARYA, not to be confused with AYRO. On this one, we had a big move Wednesday of last week when the volume weighted average price from off of the high back here was resistance, 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 and then finally big breakout. Pulled back inside day on Thursday, started to come out on Friday, but did not reclaim that 1060 pivot. This is an idea that's very easy to manage as it comes through 1060, using that level and prior pivot to manage your risk. Next is Beam Global. What I like about this one, we had another inside day on Friday, descending trend line from off the high. Should we come out here, we'll reclaim volume weighted average price from off of the high. We'll also reclaim the volume shelf, and then we can look for the breakout through the trend line. Very similar to Laser and Palantir and some of the other ones we've traded recently. This is a very similar idea and setup. So inside day would come out above 64.55, and then we can look for that breakout through the descending trend line. Next, CIIC. Quite a few SPAC ideas this week, which shouldn't be surprising. This one's in the pinch. We've had resistance from the VWAP off of the high, support VWAP off of this gap. You've seen a couple times. What we're looking for now is for it to come through the descending trend line. You have the volume shelf, volume point of control there acting as support. We're looking for that one to push through the trend line, push through anchored VWAP off the high. I do like this. This is one of the few ideas this week that's not only a trade idea, but if it's acting really well, I could see holding this swing and maybe even a little bit longer. Have a prior high of 37.18 above to keep an eye on. Next is Fubo. I talked about funds coming into this one. Quite a few. On a percentage wise, it was huge, but I think we went from 2 to 47 funds in this one. Triangle forming. It's a little bit early on here, but because of the bullish outside day on Friday, was it outside? Not quite. So just 2 up here, and then what we're looking for is this to come out of this triangle pattern. Some may even look at this as like a deep cup with a handle. You could even draw a little trend line here. A lot of ways to play this and manage it. If it comes out through here, you're back above the moving average clouds. For me, I probably want to see this triangle get taken out first. Then you can look at 62.29 above. Like I said, it's a little bit early here, and it's kind of in the middle. The better area is against this trend line down here or coming through up here. But one that I'll probably update with charts on FinTwit, and we'll see how this one acts early in the week. But I want you to be aware of it. Speaking of shared on FinTwit, I shared Moderna last week. This idea still kind of in the range here, tight little range. 185.98 pivot above. It tried to push through, couldn't, but then we got a nice hammer on Friday. If that confirms, I would look for continuation above 186 off into new highs. Plug Power, another one that's in a little bit of a pinch here. We have sitting right on the VWAP from this breakout and gap where the big volume first came in, has acted as support several times, pinching off of the VWAP, off of the high here, that's offered resistance. So if we can find support here and this start to turn back up and push through, you have this level as well as the volume shelf to act as support below. I'm already in this idea, tight to manage risk up against here, looking for the breakout to the upside. Skills. Very popular one. What I want you to see with this one is kind of how it acts after the gaps. So what it tends to do is have a big breakout and then move sideways slightly below the volume weighted average price from the breakout. And it does that for quite a while and then explodes through. Does the next leg up, had another gap, and then again kind of dances around that volume weighted average price, pushes through, and then explodes, gaps, up we go. Again, we have that same pattern playing out here. You have the gap. If you put the volume weighted average price on to that gap, you can see prices back below that level again. So what I'm thinking is we may find support at this one if it comes in further, or if it decides to just turn back up here as it comes through and turns this volume weighted average price back up, may provide an opportunity. There's two ways that I like to play these, either on the break, especially if we get like an inside day here, then that inside day comes out, manage it against that, or if we get a big push through the volume weighted average price, then like to get it as it comes back in to retest and turn that volume weighted average price up. So as it turns that up and then comes back and retests, so that's a very low risk entry. So I'll be watching this, see how it acts early in the week next week. One more, STPK, Star Peak Energy, yet another SPAC. What I like about this one, you have a little base, 38.20 pivot. That area acted as support. It actually reclaimed that late in the week on Friday, back above or found support at the moving average cloud 10 period. So what I'm looking for here is for that 38.20 to continue to hold. You have a volume shelf just below. It may be, it'd be really nice if we get an inside day here to manage risk against. If not, may have to just see it come in and test this 38.20 again. What I don't want to do is chase it up here, but I do like this 38.20. The closer I can get into that area, the more comfortable I feel with this idea. That is a pivot that I feel comfortable with benching risk against. You have this kind of little handle. It's more like a cup with high handle up here, and then we'll see if we can kind of push through there, come out to the upside, ideally closer to that 38.20, but one that I definitely am keeping an eye on next week. So between ideas that we had last week that are still valid, between the focus list ideas and between these that I shared in this video, quite a few ideas going into next week. And I will update these throughout the week on FinTwit. Hope you guys have a great trading week and enjoyed these videos and ideas.